Hello, everyone. Sorry about my voice. When I talk, I'll try and keep it down, okay? So, welcome. I hope you all had a fantastic Monday. I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday and this perfect week and year to come. I hope the best. So, after yesterday's fun occasion, it's time to go back to normal and, of course, discuss regular stuff. Now, today I want to talk about quite a lot of stuff. I want to talk about my books, especially my children's book, because for a couple of days now, I've been thinking of new concepts for that book. And of course, I'm thinking of making it into a series rather into a once off book. I've just wanted to make a one-off book, but then I realized, you know what? There's so much of fantasy story I can pull from that specific idea. Why not make it into a bigger series? And that's is something I will do because it just makes sense. The first book will cover a lot of stories, but of course, the second book will cover even more because the first book will have a lot of story left over that it can't be told in that same book, you know? So at the end of the day, the second book's goal will be something different, whereas the first book's goal will be something totally different as well. Because the first book will have a lot of story. And I'm also sorry about my voice. I'll try and talk like this. Should I talk like this? Am I sounding cute? Am I sounding cute? I hope so. Okay, I really hope so. Alright, let's do this. So first I want to read some news, then we'll talk about the books. But as I was saying, the children's book, just in case I forget about the topic, the children's book will turn into a series, and every book will cover a certain idea or a certain character or a certain story arc, and it'll be amazing. Okay. Western Game Devs mocks after criticizing Elden Ring as uh, poorly designed. Now, there's a lot of developers getting angry at Elden Ring uh, because the game is doing well. The Book of Boba Fett review. Where does Star Wars go from here? Disney CEO Bob Chapek claims company is a force for inclusion, but doesn't want it to become a political football. Okay, the Batman actress Zoe Kravitz accuses Californians of racism, so she was rejected from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises because of her skin color. Benedict Cumberbatch wants your son to be feminist. Responds to Sam Elliott's criticism of the power of dog. Basically, there was this actor Sam Elliott who criticized this new movie coming out, and now Smaug over here, Schmaug, is gonna respond back. Okay, so I responded to these articles. There's not much to read on this. Okay, let's read the Benedict Cumberbatch stuff first. I'll try not to raise my voice when I'm raging. Now, here's the thing: when I have sons, if I have sons, even daughters, I do not want them to be feminists. No, feminism has nothing to do with about equality. It is all about dominance. I don't know how people don't get that properly. You know, like look what's going on. Feminists they don't preach about equality. They preach about domination. They preach about getting 100% of everything. No equality. That stuff. Fake accusations. They're totally fine with fake accusations. Okay, totally fine with that. How much of innocent men because of fake accusations? Hmm? So basically, Smaug wants to be feminist. uh, 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 I wouldn't want my son to be a feminist, nor my daughters. I don't want any of my children and my great grandchildren and my continuation of my bloodline to be feminist. In fact, I don't want anyone to be feminist. I don't want anyone to be feminist at all. Many feminists are hypocrites. Okay, many of them are hypocrites. They support women's, but then if it correlates with transgenderism, all of a sudden they stop supporting women. At the end of the day, it's just them being hypocrites. They just want superiority and stuff like that. Okay, let's read. At the end of February, Elliot appeared on Mark Maron's podcast, What the Fuck with Mark Maron, where he discussed the power of the dog, explaining why he did not like the movie, saying, I'll tell you why I didn't like it anyway. I looked at it when I was down there in Texas doing 1883, and what really brought it home for me the other day when I said to you I want to fucking talk about it. There was a fucking full page ad out in the LA Times, and there was a review, not a review, a clip, and it talked about the evisceration of the American myth. And I thought, what the fuck? This is the guy that's done westerns forever. He elaborated the evisceration of the American West. They made it look like we're all those dancers, those guys in New York that wear bow ties and not much else. Remember them from back in the day? Maron answers, "Oh, the Chippendales." Elliot then says, "Yeah, that's what all these fucking cowboys in the movies look like. They're all running around in chaps and no shirts. These are all allusions to homosexuality through the fucking movie." This guy is just speaking truth, okay? This is why I like certain actors that just speak so much out about stuff like this. Maron responds, "I think that's what the movie's about." Elliot then states, "Well, what the fuck does this woman?" Maron then interjects, "Who? Jane Campion, the director of The Power of the Dog." Elliot continues, "Yeah, she's a brilliant director, by the way. I love her previous work, but what the fuck does this woman from down there, New Zealand, know about the American West? And why the fuck does she shoot the movie in New Zealand? Why does she shoot this freaking movie in New Zealand and call it Montana?" It's kind of crazy because, look, I'm not a fan of New Zealand. I don't hate the people. I don't hate the people. I'm not a fan of. I've said this before as well. I'm not a fan of their PM, uh, because honestly, she gives me the creeps. But obviously, there's a lot of woke people in New Zealand. But some people are waking up from the wokeness, in recent days. But here's the thing, what Elliot is trying to say is that this woman from New Zealand, is making a movie about the American West. And I think anyone can make a movie about any culture, and if you're going to depict it well, you have to do enough research, you know. And basically, she's shooting the movie in New Zealand and calling it Montana. Elliot then elaborated, and the myth is that there was these macho men out there with the cattle. I just come from effing Texas, where I was hanging out with the families, not men, but families, big, long, extended, multiple generation families that made their living and their lives were all about being cowboys. And boy, I'm not gonna say the F word just in case YouTube censors me. When I effing saw that, I thought, where the F, where, where are we in this world today? Maron then stated, "I don't know that the biggest issue at hand," Elliot counted. "No, it's not the biggest issue at hand, but for me it was the only issue because there was so much of it. I mean, Cumberbatch never got out of his effing chaps. He had two pair of chaps, a woolly pair and a leather pair," he explained. Elliot then added, "And every effing time he walked in from somewhere, I don't know where the F he was, where he was never on a horse. Maybe once he'd walk in the effing house, storm up the effing stairs, go lay in his bed in his chaps and play his banjo." He concluded, "I was like, what the F? What the F? Where's the Western in this Western?" Cumberbatch responded to his criticism in a recent review after being nominated for Best Leading Actor in his role Power of the Dog with British Academy of the BAFTAs. I don't trust the BAFTAs, everyone. The BAFTAs are full of crap. The BAFTAs are full of crap. They lie about all this diversity crap. They just want diversity. That's all they care about. They don't care if you act well. As long as you tick the check boxes for your skin color, that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You're not allowed to act anymore. You're not allowed to have a profession. You're only judged by your skin tone, which is very crazy. Responding to a question about why is it important to portray his Power of the Dog character, Cumberbatch responded, "Because there are many of him still in the world." He continued, "And I think if we would teach our sons to be a feminist, if we teach equality, we understand what poisons the well in men, what creates toxic masculinity. We need to understand and look under the hood of the characters, like Phil Burbank, to see where the struggle is and why there is in the first world. Otherwise, it's going to keep repeating itself. And here's the thing I want to say: there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's a feminist lie. It is a feminist lie. They made that term up. They literally made that term up, okay, in current decades. This term wasn't a thing long ago. They made this term up just to belittle men. Simple as that. Simple as that. Uh, Feminism has nothing to do with equality. Domination, I mentioned that. And equality. What equality? Feminism has nothing to do with equality. Feminism tells men they cannot be masculine. Feminism tells men you cannot cry because that's somehow what unmasculine. Feminism has nothing to do with equality. It has to do with domination. There's no equality in feminism. People still believe that. I don't. Okay, I'm sorry to say this. I'm not sorry. Feminism has nothing to do with equality. Okay, okay. And I feel sad for all those women who call themselves feminists, because it's a sad world we're living in where, like, what does feminism teach? Kill your babies. That's all it teaches. Kill your babies, pop a pill, and that's it. That's it. It has nothing to do with, you know, being a strong woman. It's about basically trying to be a man, trying to be a strong man. You can't be a man because you're not a man. Simple as that. Feminism is all about, you know, ditching the family and stuff like that. You know, there's so much of what these feminists spout, and it's crazy that people still eat this stuff up. I'm so sick of it. And the West, majority of the West believes stuff like this. They believe crap like this, and it's so sad. It really is sad. A feminist, what feminist? What, teaching to be dominant, to destroy the family, to kill your children, you know, to not accept who you are as a woman, but to try and compete against men. Men and women were not made to compete against each other. They were made to be helping one another, you know. So when I see these feminists who bring up these playground gender battles, because, you know, back in the day when you were at preschool, people would say, oh, boys are bad or girls are bad. It's playground stuff. It's children's stuff. When you become an adult, you're not supposed to be saying stuff like that, because you need one another to survive. The fact that there are people out there who belittle men till this day as they are adults, it is crazy. It is crazy. And we're not talking about light jokes. We're talking about full-blown hatred towards men. It's crazy. And while we're thankfully moving into a space where now the survivors are being heard and supported. What survivors? What survivors? You mean fake accusations? Okay. No. Uh. Here's the thing. I'm so sick and tired of Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't like him. Uh. Yes, he played a good role as Smaug, so doesn't matter. The dude has no idea what he's talking about. He's part of the problem, as they would call us. Okay, people call us part of the problem. He's part of our problem. Okay, the amount of crap you just said right now in that article. I cut a lot of stuff out. I skimmed through certain parts, and wow, that's painful. Feminism is not an inspiration, and masculinity is not toxic. People can be good, people can be bad. Assuming one or the other based on gender is called sexism. Since the left cannot figure that out. They can't figure that out. They cry equality, then immediately say all women are good, which is crazy, because you get bad people no matter what gender. There are bad people in this world, you know? It is crazy. And secondly, this man is an Englishman. Why is he playing a Western American? Hmm? You know, a couple years ago, all these SJWs, these woke people, all of them were saying everyone must play their own role. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But people like him, woke people like him, I don't know about him specifically, but woke people like him were saying people need to play their own roles. So basically, if you're black, you gotta play a black role only. And if you're white, you gotta play a white role. You can only play which you are. And that's obviously crazy. I don't like that. But woke people are hypocrites. This man is a British man. Why is he playing an American cowboy? Huh? It's so crazy. And yes, I know it's acting. I know. But I'm trying to prove a point that this British man, complaining about an American cowboy. What? Really? Really? Complaining about feminism and stuff. UK is more woke than America, and they have a lot of issues going on there as well. Like UK is crazy right now. You know, it's a crazy world. Okay, okay. Benedict Cumberbatch. Don't care. Don't care. Batch. Don't care. Don't really care at all. I just worry about the future because people are like unaware of the world for what it is. They don't know what these feminists are plotting. All they want to do is kill children in the womb. That's it. That's all they care about is killing innocent lives in the womb. That's all they care about. How much of innocent babies were murdered? How many? Hmm? And then what? Oh, it's equality, they say. Men don't kill their babies, okay? Men don't do that, okay? I'm just saying. The Batman actress Zoe Kravitz accused Californians of racism. Let's read this as well. Accusing California. Okay. Hey, waifu, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay. Um. Okay. She was rejected from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight because of her skin color. Okay. Let the article load a bit more. Now, I watched the Christopher Nolan movies recently. It was okay. It was a bit too dark for me, to be honest. A bit too much. I did not like the final movie. Uh, I loved the one with Joker in it because that was good. Uh, the first one was okay. Uh, wow. Uh, I'm just saying, wow. Okay, it's taking a long time to load. Okay. Now, yesterday, we went to the cinemas and we had the option of choosing Enchanto or the Batman. We watched Enchanto. I'm doing good, just brushing my teeth. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I never brushed mine today. It's still early. Uh, but yeah, I should brush mine every morning. I should make it a habit. Normally, I don't really brush it in the morning. I had so much of sweet stuff yesterday. Dark Knight trilogy is great. Okay, so she would tell the Guardian. Basically, she had an interview with the Guardian. Uh, Even though sometimes it's hard to see that the moment, usually a few years later, you're like, okay, this is why this didn't happen. Specifically, she would reveal that she was rejected in a role of Nolan's Dark Knight Rises telling the British outlets. I don't know if it came directly from Christopher Nolan. I think it was probably a casting director of some kind or a casting director's assistant. Being a woman of color and being an actor and being told that at the time I wasn't able to read because of color of my skin and the word urban being thrown around like that. That was really hard for that moment. Okay, okay. Not only did she claim that she was rejected from the role of The Dark Knight Rises, but she also claimed that all the scripts were that were being sent to her about the first black wait, all the scripts that were being sent were about the first black woman to make a muffin or something. Even though there are stories, those stories are important to tell. I also want to open up things for myself as an artist. Now she does have her own movie coming up, I guess, sometime. I don't know. It's her playing a blue-aired character, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, I don't really pay attention to these type of actresses and stuff like this. You know, uh, she would go on to accuse people who live near the set location of Big Little Liars are racist. She told The Guardian, there were a few moments where I felt a little uncomfortable because it was such a white area. That is racist as well. So she then explained what made her uncomfortable, just weird racist people in bars and things like that. So she just accuses them without proper proof. Okay. Uh, okay. So let's read the comments. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex. Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012 when Zoe was just 24. They gave it to Anne Hathaway, 6 years a senior, for the simple reason that she was much closer to Christian Bale's age, thus making it much more believable fit. No racism fantasies needed. That. There we go. There we go. It was because of her age she was chosen. I don't really care for her personality wise. I could tell she's a very rude and unlikable. Yeah, I mean, the interview she was having, she was being very rude, you know. And I'm sure people like her think it's fine, you know. I feel bad when I'm even rude. Like even if I say something, if I say it in a way that some people can take it out of context, I feel very bad for that, you know. Maybe that's just me, but some people out there just like to be rude. Some people like to be rude no matter what. It's sad. Job and parts for me, but not for thee. Okay, it's time for another article because I'm not a big fan of this Zoe character. This Zoe woman, I'm not a fan. Uh, Disney. I can't even pronounce words sometimes. Disney CEO Bob Chapek claims company is a force for inclusion, but doesn't want it to become a political football. Well, political battleground football, same thing. Uh, it's just that football is basically a light version of rugby. Okay, the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, sent out a company email following a meeting he had with the LGBT leaders, Disney LGBTQ leaders, following criticism that the company received from activists and employees over pending Florida legislation. Now, basically, if you don't know what happened, to keep you up to speed, donate to the Florida Bull Don't Say Gay. Basically, to stop teaching children about sexuality. Simple as that. People lost their mind. It's crazy because they lost their minds. It's like, really, are we going this far? We're talking about high school. We are talking about class 1 to 3. You know where you're supposed to learn the most important stuff? Yeah. They were trying to teach all this crazy sexuality stuff. They don't want them to be taught proper educational stuff like alphabets or numbers, you know? Okay, so basically, a lot of activists cried, and then he has to meet with Disney alphabet people. Why are there Disney alphabet people? As previously reported, Disney faced criticism from activists, okay, over the fact that they had not publicly condemned Florida Bill. Okay, according to Florida website, Senate's website, the bill requires district school boards to adopt Okay, okay. Also, there's this other bill where I guess parents get to know what the teachers are teaching. Also, I hate when they get rejected. They assume it's because of racism, instead of because, well, I don't know, you don't have a proper skills, or the director didn't envision you as the character. Exactly, you know. Um, they always cry that racism every time. Okay. Okay, in response to the bill, Disney initiated release statements that reads, "We understand how important this issue is to our Alphabet employees and many others." Okay, here's the thing: this bill, the Don't Say Gay bill, is not going to affect your workers. It's not going to affect your workers. I don't get how anytime you live your life normally, you want your life to be lived normally, immediately it affects the alphabet people. Why? How is that going to affect them? How is that going to affect them? How? How? Teaching regular stuff you're supposed to learn in school is normal. I went through school. I learned basic fundamentals. I did not learn all this alphabet crap. And look at me now. Okay? I'm just trying to say that at the end of the day, no one's going to be hurt. People are just going to be learning what they're supposed to learn. The fact that this is a problem proves the decline of the West. The West is falling. The West is falling hard. Okay? Now, here's the thing. They're still going to bow down to China, for a fact. They're not going to make all these characters. If they do, they will basically make them in a way where they can be edited out. Simple as that. And secondly, in an email, Chapek begins discussing Ukraine before moving on to the point. Okay. Here's the thing. Why do companies have to take sides? You're an entertainment company. You're not a political company. You are an entertainment company. Don't support either then. Simple as that. If you don't want to support the right, then don't support the left. Simple as that. You're an entertainment company. You're not here to lecture us about what's right and what's wrong. Simple as that. I don't care how many alphabet people work with you. That doesn't matter. This bill does not affect them. This bill does not affect anyone. It just stops teachers, perverted teachers, to stop teaching children disgusting things. Okay? Simple as that. Why is it so hard for people to grasp simple knowledge? I wish it wasn't so hard. Okay, next. Okay. It's crazy. It really is crazy. I'm sick and tired of seeing companies support political stuff. Hey, hello, hi. I'm tired of it. Disney is an entertainment company. They have no right to be telling me how I live my life or what I'll vote for or whatever, you know? They have no right to do that. Okay? Disney, same company that works in a concentration camp, near a concentration camp, a active concentration camp in China. Yeah, agreed. I wish I can go back when entertainment was just entertainment and focus more on good characters and stories. Exactly, exactly. Okay. Now then, they mention a lot of diverse movies. Enchanto was a good movie. Okay, it was a good movie. I watched it yesterday. It was amazing. Black Panther, never watched it. I feel like it was overhyped. Pose, I don't know, Reservation Dogs and all the other Coco, Soul, Modern Family, Shang-Chi, and the I don't even know. I was gonna make a joke, but I can't make a joke. I can't think of a joke. It sucks. It really sucks. Completely lacking any kind of self-awareness, Chapek then stated, "I firmly believe that our ability to tell such stories and have them received with open eyes, ears, and hearts would be diminished if our company were be able to become a political football in any debate." That's what they're becoming. That's what they're becoming. They chose to become this from the Lion King to SJWism in 2 decades. Exactly. Exactly. Uh it's crazy, you know? An entertainment company wants to choose sides. I don't care if they choose my side or not. They shouldn't be. They're an entertainment company. People inside the company can have their own opinions, yes. But here's the problem. A company itself cannot show support for stuff like this because they're entertainment company. They're supposed to be for the masses, not a specific side. They never promised to be for a specific side long ago. They were just having fun entertainment long ago. Now all of a sudden, since every Tom, Dick, and Harry on Twitter cries about everything, so companies must now take sides. It's so stupid. What's this? Oh, a lesbian sheen. Let's see. Okay. Yes, yes. Stunning and brave, guys. Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. Okay. It's so stupid. If I was a Disney CEO, I would cut all this crap immediately. Okay. I remember Disney tried to appeal to the Hispanics on Hispanic Heritage Month with by using Latinx, which, not surprisingly, didn't work. It's crazy, you know. these companies are trying so hard to virtue signal. It's like, how about making good stories? Okay, good stories without lecturing everyone. Um, and they can make good diversity stories. They can make good diversity stories without lecturing people. Enchanto was a good movie. It did not lecture me. It did not lecture the audience about living their lives or whatever. So why not make more stuff like that? If you want diversity, Uh, then we have this. We have a lot of like files about stuff, and this is what I hate the most of. Equity. Equity means uh, equity does not mean diversity. That's for sure. Equity is not equality. Equity is the opposite of equality. Okay. They use this as a way to just kind of mock people, say, "Oh, this is equality. This is a old understanding of the world. Equity is a new way forward," which is not true. Equity is the opposite. Equity is just so terrible. Equality matters, not equity. It's crazy how they ditching equality and now going for equity, something that does not favor everyone equally. It does not favor everyone equally at all. Uh, okay, moving on. Okay, Disney, you are a company to entertain us, not cry. Okay, look at this. Look at this comment. Okay, basically quoting what he said. All this is why we have earned a 100% rating from the Human Rights Campaign for 16 years in a row, he touted. Someone should ask the Uyghur people what they think about this. Exactly. They literally filmed Mulan near a active concentration camp, and people were totally fine with this. Disney. Disney condemning Russia about their bad acts. What about their own bad acts filming next to a concentration camp? It's the hypocrisy is so stunning and brave. On a crazy world, isn't it? Inclusion. Try telling that to Gina Carano. Yeah, they fired Gina Carano. They fired her, by the way. They fired her for an opinion, a opposing opinion. Where's the diversity? Where's the inclusion? They fired a woman just for making tweets. Okay, this is some crazy thing happening in this world. At least in anime slash manga, they do characters that are gay or trans. They do at least give them actual character. Exactly, that's what they do. That's why anime is winning. And I hope the American SJWs stay away from anime. Please stay away from anime. Please. If you're an SJW, you should. I don't think they should be watching anime. Okay, I don't think they should be watching anime. They must stick with their woke comic books and stuff like that. Because all the woke comic books, all these woke Western movies, are not for normal people. It's for them. SJWs always cling into non-woke stuff, and they want to change it for themselves. Okay, they always want to change it for themselves. If they have a problem with this type of stuff, they must cling on to their own stuff, because I'm tired of what seeing these type of SJWs attack anime, attack a lot of people working for anime, a lot of manga creators. I'm tired of seeing SJWs attack them over things they don't like. If they want to see things they like, read the Western stuff. They should not be going and trying to touch anime. Okay, it's so crazy how uh woke SJW woke SJW LGBTQs. I mean, uh, exactly. You forgot to add the plus 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 aluminum P. Okay, I absolutely do not want any more anime film adaptations. One Piece is getting a full a live action version on Netflix. Yeah, One Piece. And one of the writers was tweeting about stuff about politics, real world politics, and comparing characters from One Piece and the real world. I have a bad feeling about that. I have a bad feeling about that. They got the casting of the characters right, but it doesn't matter because the script is going to be a political shit show, you know? It's always going to be an allegory for the real world or something like that, you know? Um, Hold on, let me drink some water. All right, I'm back. So anyways, yeah, it sucks. It really does suck that SJWs always cling onto stuff that's not woke. They cling onto stuff that's not woke and force it to change. And when it does change, they leave it alone. They leave it alone. That's it. It's so crazy. Honestly, they want things for them, but they don't buy the things that's for them. You know. Western game devs mocked after criticizing Elden Ring as poorly designed. I never played Elden Ring. I will need an Xbox Series X for that because I cannot be playing on my current Xbox. I can't play on my current Xbox all of these next gen games or current gen games. I can't play. Uh, I don't think my Xbox One can handle that much power. Uh, okay. Okay, Black Lagoon especially. I don't want to get an adaptation since that's my favorite anime ever. Also, BL doesn't. Sorry, my reading sucks. Sorry. Also, BL does a much better job when it comes to not only diversity but strong female characters as well. Not even about politics. The West can't tell stories like anime anymore. Like anime do anymore. Exactly. Exactly. They just can't. They just can't tell regular stories, you know? Um, okay. Western game devs mocked after criticizing Elden Ring as poorly designed. A trio of individual Western video game developers have been met with widespread accusations of jealousy over their recent criticisms of Elden Ring's success. The matter started harmlessly enough with Ubisoft Stockholm UX user experience designer Hamid Salama talking to his personal Twitter on March 3rd to discuss both the praise that he had been given to Elden Ring and his belief that the game had failed to provide a good user experience. Okay, here's his tweet. The fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that the reviewers don't give a flaming poop about gaming user experience. My life is a lie. Yes, it is because you telling yourself a lie. I'm sure Elden Ring is great. A lot of people love it. There's not much glitches. A lot of people are not really complaining about the glitches, so I guess that's fine. Uh, I guess that's fine. Okay. Uh, okay. Salama's claims to user experience authority include stints designing set experience for Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 5, uh, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Okay, so this guy worked uh okay for some of these games. I guess the user experience is generally awful. Nothing about these things feel intentional or play tested. Then we have someone else. Salama's tweet was soon met with agreement from PlayStation subsidiary. I can't even say that. I can't even say this word. I can't say it. I'm sorry. Nix's software graphics programmer, Rebecca Fernandez Oshia. No. And what happened? Uh. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. OBS just flipped on me. OBS just flipped on me for no reason. I don't even know why. I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right then. All right. So basically, a lot of assaults from Ubisoft and Guerrilla workers. Okay. The fact that these developers agreed with Salama seemed to kick the honest nest as it gave many players the impression that they were simply jealous of the praise heaped upon Elden Ring by critics and fans alike. Elden Ring is so good at making its Horizon Forbidden West developers cry on Twitter. Dying. Now, when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West, um, look, I don't even care about that game. A lot of people were talking about it, about the models and how they changed the female character. And the reason why they changed the female character was of a sexist reason, you know. They believe that a pretty woman cannot be strong, which is a very sexist thing to say. But for woke people, it's totally fine, you know. And you know what? It's still their game. Even though it was a sexist reason to change the character's design, it's still their game. It's still the creator's game. They have every right to make it however they want the game to be, you know? So if they want their game to be about fat ginger person running around playing with robots, they can do it. It's their game, okay? And if I want to make a game about sexy women, I can make that game. Sure, I will get criticism from these woke people, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna make it how I want to make my games. I'm gonna head to bed, gotta get up early, see you later. Hope you all have a good day. Okay, bye, have an amazing day. Have a good night. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. Okay, so, anyways, we can see people are crying about, crying about Elden Ring. Dang. Okay, now people are saying that they're not gonna play the game anymore because because they saw these tweets and they took it as these people are bitter over the game. But I don't think so. I don't think they are bitter. But hey, I don't know. Um, Someone called me a X-bot for liking Elden Ring. It took me a while to figure out why, but my guess, they're upset about Horizon Forbidden West getting overshadowed. And to be fair, I do feel bad for Horizon devs. They did this twice in a row with Breath of the Wild. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you're telling me that the first time Horizon was posted, that it got overshadowed by uh, Breath of the Wild? Dang. Dang. Uh, Breath of the Wild is highly respected. It's still talked about till this day. I'm not a huge Legend of Zelda fan. I don't even know that much about it. But if you like that game, I guess good for you, you know. But till this day, people like that game, you know. It has such a big impact because of a series spanning from long ago. So yeah, I guess. Anyways, shut the f up with the comparisons between Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring, please. Both are doing well. Okay. I guess Horizon Zero is doing bad, if they have to say that. Because the game is very forgetful, I have to say that, you know, like, it is forgetful. People do tend to forget about the game. I never understood all the praise for the first Horizon. The gameplay was fine, but I thought the world was somewhat boring and the characters mostly forgettable. Yep, I played Zero Dawn until the reveal of what happened to the planet and the reasons for the robots, rolled my eyes, turned it off, uninstalled, and I've never gone back to finish it. Feminism. If I had to choose one over the other, I think I prefer the one where I don't have to play a character with a swollen melon for a head. Dang. Dang. That's a big roast. Okay. Uh, Tisk tisk. These devs are salty that Elden Ring outsold their strong whammon simulators. They do bring up one good point though. The professional reviews are utterly useless and are either paid for or scored for PR points. In the case of Soul games, the game journals wouldn't dare give the game a low score, even though they likely have not completed the game. Okay. The really suspicious part here is how mediocre games like Horizon's series got near 90 out of 100 in Metacritic. Ally is such an unlikable character, yet they're trying to make her the new Lara Croft or something. I have a couple of game ideas ahead, and most of them are just female characters. So yeah, I wonder how my characters will go up against these feminist characters. I'm not here to compete. I'm here just to make money, you know. Um, and hopefully, my games do well, you know. Okay, Western creators, rude and disgusting as always. Now I don't know if they were if they were jealous. I don't know if they were jealous. That's something I don't know because they only have like a few tweets that don't really specify if they were jealous or not. So you can't really understand what they're saying. Okay. Um, but yeah, a lot of people are not really a big fan of this Horizon Zero Dawn because it's available. I'm still surprised it's so popular because I don't get why it is popular. Because it has robots. Is that why it's popular? Okay. Well, good for the company, I guess. Good for Elden Ring, for basically stirring up such a conversation, I guess. Okay. I don't think I'll play Elden Ring right now. I need a next gen console or a current gen console. Then I'll play it, you know. Uh, but yeah, good for Elden Ring. Uh, if the game is doing good, okay, simple as that. Now I guess we are done with the articles, but of course I still have to talk about something else. If you read the description of this video, you know for a fact there's something else I have to talk about. Something else very interesting. Going to give more update on the children's book because I've been pacing around for days thinking of new concepts for it, and also got new ideas that we can discuss. Now, I want to discuss this new idea, a very interesting idea, a very interesting idea. It's a very strange one. I'm sure people will laugh at it. People will laugh at me for having this idea. Ugly appearance to reflect the ugly personalities of the people who play the character. Dang. Okay. So, anyways, any other comments to read? Okay. So, anyways, let's go. Recently, I've been thinking of a very naughty idea, a very naughty game, a very adult game. For the past few years, I've been thinking of making a few adult games. Obviously, I have a couple in mind, but most of them are just action and stuff like that. But this time, I have like a proper naughty game. Okay, it might be filled with action. The more I think about it, because right now I just have a small little concept, a tiny concept. I don't have that much. A small concept can turn into an action. It can turn to an adventure game. It can turn into anything. So obviously, if you have one dot, that one dot can turn into anything. You know. So obviously, we were just working with a tiny little speck of an idea, a tiny little speck of a concept. That's what we're working with. It's a very gross idea. I think I shouldn't discuss it here. I don't think I should discuss it over here because obviously I'm talking way too loud. But personally, I believe that the idea is a fun idea. It's a very strange, disgusting idea, but let me know what you think about it because uh, it will be pretty interesting. How about a game where, or a visual novel, okay, possibly a visual novel where the main character, gets wedgies. She gets wedgies, and that gives her powers. Now it sounds a bit strange, it sounds a bit gross, but I don't know. I think that's very fun. That is very fun. Uh, so if she's wearing something like a different color underwear, and she gets a wedgie, it'll give her a specific effect. Does that sound fun? Does that sound fun? I don't know. I think that does sound fun. Uh, but of course, as I said, it's a small, tiny speck of a concept. If I'm gonna work on that idea, I have to broaden it up and make it grow. So obviously, it'll become a good game or a good visual novel. So basically, you give the character a wedgie. That's it. Sounds fun. Sounds very fun. Very cheeky, I guess. Okay, so I guess that's just a random concept idea I have. I will let you know more when I think about it. But right now, I'm still working on my two books. As I said before, I'm working on a horror book and a children's book. So, the children's book, I'm going to make it into a series. I'm going to make my children's book into a series because I want a lot of world building in that book. I want a lot of fantasy elements. I want a lot of action. I want a lot of adventure. And I feel like if I just put it only for two books, it's not going to be so perfect. I want to make sure it's it's really long, but also not so long where it gets boring, but somewhat long, but not so long, you know? I want to have as much as content for the children's series. And when it comes to the horror book, it's only going to be one book. I don't plan on making it a two books or three books. It's just going to be one book. Simple as that. But the children's book, yes, it is going to be a long series. It's going to be a very long series because I wanted to have much more of a fantasy element, and I want it to be very long when it comes to the story, and I want people to enjoy it. You know, I want a lot of world building, and the more world building you have, the better it is to escape in this fantasy fictional world. You know, if I just have like two books or even one book, it'll be very difficult to tell every single piece of what I wanted to tell. So I feel like it's best to have a huge amount of books. Anyways, I guess that's it. I will let you know on the wedgie idea. That sounds like a very fun visual novel, like a very fun visual novel, maybe a comedy visual novel. I don't know, but we'll just see what we can do. Anyways, have an amazing day. Have an amazing Monday. It is currently 10 past 10. Yeah, pretty early. So, yes, I'm gonna end the stream now. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.